Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 10 of my daily Devlog. So yeah, this is actually a pretty big milestone, I feel, because not only is this episode 10 of my Devlog series, which is pretty nice, I gotta say. I'm surprised I've stuck with this for this long, but I've also made some pretty big improvements and changes here. So you're going to see two new buttons here, and they appear to be turrets. Remember those turrets from the last video that were non-functional? Well, I got some news for you. They do something now. They currently play no audio, but they are perfectly functional otherwise. Look at that. I'm honestly so proud of these things. I also made an alternate version that fires big, slower shots instead. Let me drag in a couple more enemies so you can see it interacting with them. The muzzle flashes I picked up from the Unity store, but... oh, man. Oh, that one killed that one. Okay. So, how exactly do these things work? Well, what they do is, about every second, they do a periodic scan of the area in an increasing radius. So they take their maximum range and they scan 1/4 of that range in a bubble around them. And then they scan 50% of that range in a bubble around that if they don't find anything that is considered an enemy. And then they scan 75% of that, and they continue all the way up to 100%. If nothing is found, it waits another second, and then it resumes that cycle again. If something is found, it is then targeted, the barrel will rotate towards it, and if it is able to attack, and the barrel is facing sufficiently enough, it will perform an attack on that enemy. Once that enemy is eliminated, it will then do another scan afterwards when it is ready to fire once more, and repeat the process. So this was actually pretty complicated to put together overall, and the two different turret types are actually using two different methods of rotation. This is using Slurp, a weird name I know, and this is a simple move rotation. So basically I've made it so when the rotation speed that you set in the prefab, it reaches a certain threshold, as in how low it is, it will switch to an alternative method of moving it. This is because I found that values that were so low using the Slurp method were so overly smooth that they could never actually turn to reach their target. So basically, in a nutshell, if it moves slowly enough, it will move at a constant rate instead of an adjusted smooth rate. Let me show you a couple more examples of what I'm talking about here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I probably should not be doing this from the console, so I can actually delete the objects as it is supposed to from the grid, but this is just testing. So as you can see, it makes a nice smooth turnover, and then it makes this nice smooth turnover there. Now let's compare that to the cannon turret. Oh, oops, let me delete that. Let's compare it to the cannon turret. Now, the cannon turret also fires a lot slower, which means it will take more time to register that it has killed an enemy before turning to face a new one. Nice and slow. I'm so happy with this. I need to make a couple more improvements, mainly being that the current detection for whether it is facing an enemy or not is too broad, because it works great at long ranges, but the closer it gets, the more ridiculous it appears. So I need to make it so it is adjusted properly for proximity to the enemy. But other than that, these are mostly finished in terms of like a playable state. And obviously this is a pretty big milestone for making an actual playable demo of this game. Theoretically, all I would need to do is create a spawning system to create enemies in waves, and a way for the player to better manage their chickens, and have them target the chickens and have a game over condition, and it could be playable. So yeah, a pretty big update, I gotta say. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me until this point. It's honestly been a lot of fun making these devlogs and working on this game, and it feels so nice to be productive instead of just laying around telling myself I'll do it later. It also helps that I'm in a bit of a time crunch because in 2 weeks I need to submit a portfolio to the university I'm going to see if I get accepted into the upper division, and I would like to see this game playable by that point. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.